What's going on, guys? It's me, Lardy D, back again today with some more wholesome gaming content. Today we are covering one of my all-time favorite games, the original Fable for Xbox. Yes, we are covering Fable today. A lot of the content I'll be showing is from Fable Anniversary, the exact same game, only released 10 years later with some updated graphics, and I wanted to make sure y'all saw everything crisp and clear. So let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to do a review, look back, and some discussion over the game. Fable was released for Xbox September 14th, 2004. And with its release came many groundbreaking concepts that are still a staple for games today. At the time, a third-person choice-based fantasy and a role-playing game, that genre itself was relatively untouched class of video game. In fact, Fable helped pave the way for a future where choosing bad or good, right or wrong, or good and evil, it would become an industry staple. There's the word staple again. Because of its success, many games would follow suit and follow Fable's example. Fallout, Infamous, Mass Effect, Red Dead Redemption, and dozens more. And many games since, intentionally or not, it was intentional, have copied and pasted Fable's button mapping and combat mechanics. But let's talk about who created the darn thing and who brought so much joy to my otherwise lonely childhood existence. And it was created by, are you ready? Lionhead Studios. Yes, Lionhead Studios was founded in 1997 by Peter Molyneux and three other chaps who aren't important and will never be remembered. So sad. So Peter and three randos created a few games throughout the late 90s for Lionhead Studios and early 2000s. But the most important one is, yes, you've guessed it, friend, Fable. Throughout Fable's lifespan, spanning Fable, Fable 2, Fable 3, Fable The Journey, and the most recently canceled game in 2016, Fable Legends, one thing has remained abundantly clear throughout all the games. Peter Molyneux is a liar McLiar pants. He lies nonstop. Throughout all the games, he sent out a bunch of false hype, false promises, promising all this stuff would happen, but it never did. But we didn't know that when the original Fable was being launched, so we took his word. And he blew more smoke up people's butts than NASA and the moon landing. But despite the lies and the false hype, Fable still landed on their feet very solidly and became one of the best games of the early 2000s. Now let's talk about the game itself. I've broken the game mechanics down into 4 categories, which are: number 1, lore and story; number 2, the leveling system; 3, combat; and 4, game immersion. Moving on to number 1, lore and story. Without going into too many spoilers, Fable takes place in Albion, a land of lawless plains and forests. The entire land was once led by an ancient royal bloodline, bestowed with the title of Archon, referred to as the Old Kingdom. The first Archon's rule was peaceful and prosperous, but the source of his power was an ancient and powerful sword known as the Sword of Aeons. It gradually began to corrupt him and eventually his entire kingdom, and by the time of the events of the game take place, the world has slowly deteriorated from the days of the Old Kingdom. One of the most prominent institutions of Albion is the Heroes Guild. The Guild is a center of training and learning for heroes. Heroes are hired as thieves, soldiers, guards, rescuers, protectors, and the Guild makes no moral judgment on the actions of its heroes, simply trains them and pushes them out into the world. We pick up with our player as a fetus child being raised in the town of Oakville. There's a bully beating up kids, a guy cheating on his wife, and boxes waiting to be smashed. Protected. So, through a series of tragedies and very bad circumstances, our young fetus hero gets himself landed at the Heroes Guild, where he undergoes years of rigorous training to hone his hero-like abilities before being sent out into the world as a full-fledged hero. He progresses through many quests, making many decisions that affect who he is and what he is to become. The big bad of the game, though, is Jack of Blades. He wants the Sword of Aeons, and it is your job to make sure he doesn't get it. Or is it? If your goal is to be evil, and you like to kill everyone and everything, and have an insatiable quest for power that nothing is able to quench, well, this is the game for you. But if you are a tender-hearted, sweet, and love all facets of nature, then this is also the game for you. You choose your path, bruh. But they managed to build a very intricate story and lore throughout the game, even putting readable books that you can read and get more information on the lore and world around you. So, all in all, a very thorough and in-depth story that will most likely have you beating it more than once just to see its various endings. Moving on to number 2, the level system in Fable was very in-depth, but not too complicated. As the hero progresses throughout the game, they can accumulate experience orbs from the various quests they complete and enemies they defeat. Haha, that rhymed. Heroes could then put their experience orbs towards 3 categories: strength, skill, and will. Strength, number 1, is what a hero who depends on brute physical fighting needs to add to their repertoire. Strength has 3 subcategories: physique, health, and toughness. Physique determines how much damage you do with a weapon and how bulky and sexy your hero becomes. And health stretches out that sweet red bar at the bottom of your screen. And toughness is how much damage your hero can take. You cannot go wrong with strength. But number 2 subcat is skill. Skill, like strength, has 3 subcategories: speed, accuracy, and guile. Speed determines how quickly your hero can move and swing a weapon. Accuracy determines how many of your shots with melee and bows actually hit the target. And guile, which determines how sneaky you are and help you stay hidden with any lockpicking and stealing that you might do. Naughty, naughty.
And then you have will, which will is your magic power, your lifeblood, and there are some incredibly powerful spells in Fable. They can be broken down also into separate categories. You have your attack spells, surround spells, and physical spells. Attack spells being usually a spell that singles out a specific target to do damage, and surround spells causing an area of effect around you, and physical spells being able to buff your physical body, armor, and attack damage. Well, that sums up the leveling system, so let's move on to combat. Combat also consists of 3 categories: melee, ranged, and will. Melee, consisting of swords, katanas, maces, axes, and great swords of various sizes, rarity, and damage. You cannot beat melee combat if you like close quarters fighting. You also have ranged combat. Once you get your accuracy high enough, you can eliminate almost any foe from long range. Nothing beats getting a stealth headshot from 100 feet away. Don't use crossbows though, trust me. Will spells can turn the tide of any combat engagement, whether it's slow time, summon creatures, multi-strike for the melee hitters, or multi-strike for the bow for attacking from afar. Nothing is funner than burning and electrocuting your enemies. If you put enough experience into lightning, you will look like Darth Sidious in no time.
Alright guys, so we're starting to wind down here. We're on our last and final category, game immersion. But wait, what is immersion, Lardy? What does it mean? Well, I'm glad you asked, and I'm sure glad I looked it up, because the definition of game immersion is as follows. It is the act of immersing someone or something in liquid. So in essence, if a game has high immersion, and it's very engrossing, and you're very engrossed into the game, that means you should be moist when playing the game. Moist. Anyways, let's talk about all of the factors that were in this game that really made for an immersive experience. The good and evil system made for multiple unique experiences on multiple playthroughs. Making evil decisions affected your alignment. The more bad decisions you made, the more afraid people became of you, and it ultimately affected the end of the game. You also had access to an expression wheel, which allowed you to interact with citizens of Albion in unique ways, whether making them like you, hate, despise, or even be disgusted by you, even to the point of being able to flirt, propose, and even marry someone.
I And so the hero married. And for one day at least, the troubles of a hard world were put aside.
But you also have to work to keep up your relationships, whether by giving gifts, visiting often, or keeping up an attractive appearance. Yes, I said attractive. Weapons, clothing, and armor have an attractiveness rating. Wearing good clothes, not eating too much food, or having too many scars can affect your attractiveness. The more your character is killed, the more scars accumulate on his body, making him less attractive. So immersive. There is also a renown system. You earn renown or lose renown depending on quests you do and good or bad deeds you manage to accomplish. Renown is your fame meter. The more famous you are, the more you're respected and loved. Also, your renown dictates what quests you are ready to complete. So, is it immersive? Yes, for its time, it was extremely immersive. No other game had gone so in-depth with its game mechanics than Fable. One of my favorite mechanics about this game is the good and bad system and how it affects your body. If you're a bad character and you start doing bad things, killing villagers, doing bad quests, making bad decisions, your body will reflect that. You will grow horns, your body will start to turn black, you will have all these disgusting things around you. If you're good, you will start to glow, your hair will glow, you'll get a halo above your head. It's just a fantastic mechanic, and that's what I love about it so much. So yes, very immersive. Anyways, guys, that was a long video. It took a long time to edit. I would appreciate a like or a subscribe. That will bring this review discussion and look back to an end on the original Fable. Yes, there were some things that I couldn't cover for time's sake, such as silver chests, demon doors, and the hero dolls. I tried to keep the collectible things out of it and just put the hardy things in there. Guys, thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you guys next time in my next video. But for now, I hope you guys just keep it moisture than an oyster. And I will see you next time. Peace.
When Maze betrayed me, I knew he was a coward. But you are the biggest disappointment of all. You have been given too much power, and it has corrupted you. But it isn't too late to turn back. Stop this now, and there is still hope for you, for all of us. Please, let me teleport you to the graveyard. Take Nostro's soul instead. Very well, hero. Do your worst. I am no defenseless old man. I have powers that you can't begin to...